Well, so please make sure you support the Black Stars, and if you think that the Black Stars will, first of all, be able to win the first match, please just make sure you log on to our Facebook page, join us on TV, or also our handle on Twitter, join us on TV, or my personal handle, Rowalker Ghana, at Twitter as well, on Twitter. Please make sure your comments are very incisive, and please let us know which of the players you think will be captaining Ghana today, since our regular captain Asamajan won't be in the best of shape to be part of the team. Remember, we play Senegal, and the other match will be between South Africa and Algeria. They are tough group members Sunday. All right, so my guests for the morning, we have Horace Ni Ayankra, a former chairman, proud former chairman of the NDC, not in Ghana, but UK, Ireland. All right, how are you?
Right, thank you.
Right. And we have Rodalyn Imoro Ayana, second vice chairperson of the CPP. Thanks for joining me. All right. Now, how was your youth? I haven't met you since. And Happy New Year to all of you, though.
Same to you.
I sent you a message. I don't know whether you responded.
You did?
Yes.
I must have.
You
Yes.
had a lot, so you decided not to. I also had a lot, so there are some I couldn't have answered. Possibly.
No, I do respond to everything. I must have. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it just happens. I can't respond to everything, so I don't respond
You
to
have
everything.
a lot.
No, it's
Too
just
many
at that time the messages come a lot.
It was dry for me. Yeah.
Okay. Now we know that there are ongoing issues, and so let's clear some of those issues and concentrate on what we can for the meantime. We're told that there's an ongoing chieftaincy dispute in the Eastern region, and as a result of that, one person has been feared dead and 4 others injured, following sustained degrees of injuries that were recorded over the period. And the youth claim that a chief has been distilled as the chief of the town, so he cannot hold himself as such. Just talking about chieftaincy dispute, and we know this is just coming on the back of the difficulties that the security services have been facing at Alavanyu Kunya area. I'll start with you, Horace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a sad situation because I remember that when we were growing up, for example, I grew up in Kumasi, and the way we looked up to the Otumfuo, and even when you...
In terms of giving him that reverence?
Yes. I mean, you travel to Mampon, Ashanti, you go to elsewhere, the sort of respect that you give to the chief, even in your local area. You come down to my local area, or Tublo home, the kind of respect that you give to these chiefs because of the sanity that prevails. It's unfortunate that these days we don't see these things at all. I don't know why, but I should say, in short, that it's rather unfortunate if somebody has been distilled and still holding himself as the chief. I don't know who has to put him there or who has to remove him. But if he's no longer, or he's not supposed to be the chief, then I don't see why he has to be there. Having said that, I don't think that the youth also have the right to sort of like go on a rampage. I mean, destroy things. Did you say one dead?
Yes, one is reported.
Yeah. So that is very unfortunate. So I think that there's a dichotomy to this matter, which has to be looked at. Whoever is in charge, the kingmakers should make sure of what they have to do, and then the youth should also take responsible attitude towards their behavior. So I think and hope that our security agencies will step in so that there'll be sanity in that area.
There's a point. We've come to this point in time of our democratic dispensation where we know that the focus of the chiefs now has always been complementary. Why should we be fighting over the chieftaincy institution? Not that it's not important, it is, but making sure that we get the right things done to forward development of the communities.
Good morning, viewers, and good morning, Ghana. Roland, what's happening is that over the years we've seen more chieftaincy disputes, land disputes, and sometimes when you really look deep into them, you realize that there are some political undertones. A lot of our chiefs have become so politicized that at the end of the day, they are unable to actually govern their people. Young people are expecting that their chiefs will be neutral and that their chiefs will be people that they can easily run to with their problems. Their chiefs will be able to help bring development and sanity into their communities. But what we are beginning to see more is chiefs dabbling in politics. And it's not their fault, because politicians are also out there courting the chiefs, or in the idea that they're going to get votes from there and stuff like that. So some of these things come about because of politics. I am asking why we are having problems now. Traditional councils must be able to come out with documentation to show which houses, you must know where the chieftaincy is going to. In all these things, you find out that people who have money would always come out to influence, either to influence to get the chieftaincy for themselves, or they want to influence for somebody else who's not entitled to be put there. And all these things bring confusion. So that if traditional councils can come out with a catalog of ways of getting chiefs, for instance, this is the house. No, some have, but then somehow people come with money and then they derail the whole process. You understand? So the chieftaincy secretariats must gazette chiefs. And then also, we must know, I'm told that one of the best places that this thing works very well is a Gonja community, where when one person goes, you know who's coming next.
Really?
Yes.
So we don't have disputes?
Well, you might have it, but then it's always like clear cuts that this person is supposed to go. But these days, when you look around, people are beginning to just take the law into their own hands. And it's like when this chief claims loyalty to a certain political party, and that political party is no longer in power, then he's strong. Then he gets the youth on his side. Then another minority will say, no, it's a whole new ball game, which shouldn't happen.
It reminds me of the Ghana chieftaincy dispute. I think in the early parts of the 2000s and things like that.
We had two chiefs.
And one came, and there's a change of government, and one thinks that. Well, we do understand all those permutations, but the point is, at any point in time when, let's say, a chief is supposed to be installed, either because of the demise or one has been distilled, etc., there are a line of people, number of people who are legible or eligible to be chiefs, and so one is selected. Is that not how it works? So you, myself, and we all could be chiefs of a community, based on the fact that we're royals and we deserve to be. But then they tend to choose one person. I think one who is directly, or perhaps if all of us, one will be chosen based on a certain criteria. Why should that become a point of dispute? In those communities where these things happen, is it because perhaps, well, if it's a gold mining area or they have access to swath of land and things like that? Sometimes those things also tend to influence the way the chieftaincy dispute tend to emanate.
Yeah, that is true. I think at a point in time, we guys had 3 chiefs. And which was quite embarrassing. But I'm glad that these things have been actually settled. Because,
it's not been settled, I don't think, has it?
Well, it's not settled. But I think one is just waiting for
the change of government.
But you see, apart from the politics of it, I think it got to a point where various ethnic groups were thinking that, look, let us start getting people who are educated. Because if you look at the trend, you realize that every sort of like area wants somebody who is educated. So they tend to sort of like promote, even if the individual is not qualified, they tend to promote that individual because of the education level that he has attained. Because if you look at Otunfo, you look at Ochihini, you look so many areas now, you meet the chief and the chief is well educated. And I think that certain areas also believe that if they get somebody who is well educated, I mean, the community is going to thrive. So it starts the whole gymnastics. But unfortunately, if that is not what it's supposed to be, then of course it's going to create problems. Having said that, I mean, take for example the what happened in the Ghana state. It got to a point that everybody was saying that this is the opportunity because Doc was somebody who was well educated, and for a change, we'll get somebody who has that level of education to sort of like lead the area. But unfortunately, that is not supposed to be. So I agree with Madam. Is the politics in there, and at a point in time, they sort of like individuals that we want to sort of like promote to leaders.
We're supposed to be having security agencies, and so we have the foremost secret service of Ghana. That's the BNI. They're supposed to pick up intelligence, and well, even though it may not be directly connected to political instability or political stability, internal security is important. Why is it that we're not able to pick up some of these signals when they come up? Because we have BNI operators, either they're directly working for them or they're contracted in many forms.
Maybe the BNI is more involved in picking up opposition information than chieftancy. It could be also that they are told, but they don't take it seriously. It could be also that they are paying for people and they are not working, because you can lose touch with the people that you employ. They are undercover. They might not be doing what they've been paid to do, so they are just around. I think that the BNI has a duty to collaborate with the other security agencies within the country to pick up on all these things, because you see, we have police posts in all the communities, and the police is usually the first place that they go to when there is a problem. So the police themselves must be able to pick up, and political leaders within the communities must also be on the ground. But then you find that because they have an interest, sometimes they are not even doing anything. They try to solve those little problems themselves, and that creates big problems.
All right, so now the security agencies, I guess we all should make sure that at least they pick up some of these instability situations when they tend to occur, so that we have peace in the community.